Oh, wait, we get a sneak peek. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Gramps Live. We got a couple of really special guests tonight. Very, very special guests. But first of all, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. As we all know, June has ended, July has started, which means, hey, Team Gramps, if you want to fish for the team, or maybe win you one of these cool little catch trophies that I had Duke make up for us, hey, get signed up. There's only 7 people in July. Now, don't forget, it's not just trying to make the team, which, is the ultimate goal, but it's also a charity benefit for Blazer 88. So even if you don't, plan on fishing or going to the Knucklehead Bass Fishing Series, you just want a shot at winning one of these cool first, second, third place, trophies for whatever. Hey, get out there to Fishing Chaos and sign up. You can join anytime during the month. It's a month-long event. This month, I'm giving away a lose mock reel for everybody who participated. Well, one lucky person, not for everybody, but everybody who participated this month has, you'll go into the drawing for that lose mock reel. And, I'll probably come up with something next month, maybe a Shimano or a battery from Dakota Lithium or something. I always come up with something to give away. But, and of course, for tonight, everybody who's in the live at the end of the live, we'll do a giveaway then, a bunch of different baits and whatnot. But first, I got a guy in here who's a hammer down in Mississippi, who honestly I had the pleasure of meeting in person at the Red Crest event earlier this year. But, KBF member, you've been fishing for a little bit. Josh, kind of introduce yourself to everybody and tell us how you got, involved in kayak bass fishing itself, and then some of the state challenges, how you found your way to the Knucklehead Bass Fishing Series, and then eventually competing and winning both the events for Team Chad, who we all love and adore, and Team Gramps, of course. So, Josh, stage is yours. Tell us how you got started in the kayak bass fishing. And then you can even tell us like your juice for winning the month of June.
Yeah. So Josh Welsh from Mississippi. I used to be big into bass boat fishing, did a few tournaments here and there, kind of fished around local, didn't really travel much. And I had a really good friend of mine who had a kayak, and he begged me to fish on that thing for probably about a year or so. And I was like, man, I got a boat. I can go anywhere I want. I can get there fast, all that good stuff. And finally, I took him up on his offer. And the first time I got in that kayak, that was the end of the bass boat era. I was very impressed with it. It's just a completely different style of fishing to me. It's a little more involved. I really enjoyed it, and I just had to go out and get my own. So that was probably about 10 years ago. And I didn't really start the tournament stuff till a couple of years back.
Okay.
And me and a friend of mine kind of tried to do a little local trail, a little fruit jar style, tournament thing. And there just really wasn't enough, participation around this area to really kick it off and to continue with it. So I started doing, some research, and I've been watching, you guys on YouTube for years, Chad and Gene, and I got introduced to the tournament trails through watching the videos. And I got into it a little bit last year, but I wasn't, too comfortable with it. I fished maybe 1 or 2 months and just kind of stayed in the back, kind of get my feet wet, see how things go, see, how the leaderboards and all worked. And then this year I decided to just dive off in it and really, fish hard and participate and get into multiple tournaments, state tournaments, nationwide, top 10, all that good stuff, catch 22. And I have really enjoyed fishing in it for sure. It's been a pleasure. I've got to meet a lot of people, met you guys over at Red Crest, which was an honor. I appreciate you guys, introducing me and everything. So, but I had pretty good luck back in April on the state tournament. Did pretty well there. Got on some of those bedfish. And broke a couple PBs there for a little while, and
You've had a year, dude.
oh yeah, I've been fortunate, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
then back in May, I had some catfish stuff going on,
Oh yeah,
and I really enjoyed that. I went out of town one weekend. I was off for a few weeks there in May, so I still entered. I still fished once or twice. I didn't have a whole lot of time to spend on the water,
right.
and and I told myself, come June, this is it. I'm getting on. I'm getting on a slot somewhere. So
There you go.
uh,
May is awfully hard to do because you have Liz, you have a few. I mean, that them
yeah,
Florida that's their peak, peak
yeah,
season, and it's maybe even towards the end of it too, because like I would feel for Liz right now trying to be out on the water because it just
so
you're way in that summer pattern, and I know
yep,
you're dealing with that too, way in that summer pattern, 100-degree plus
yep,
days. I
yep,
know Liz was chomping. She was like, "Please give me April again." I
yep,
get it. I mean, I can't
yep,
imagine the bag she would have put up in April or even, earlier.
yeah,
But, it is what it is. She still did what she had to do back then. And like you, she won slots on 2 teams. And,
yep,
she had to come on live and make the same decision that you do. She said, except then she was splitting between me and Jeremy.
yep.
And this year you won both, or this month you won both, Team Gramps and Team Chad with 110 inches out of,
Oh yeah,
Mississippi. And that's, totally incredible. And actually, let me share this screen real quick because, hey man, I can't just, walk off and hand you a trophy right off the bat without showing
yeah.
some of the absolute giants that you put on the board. And I mean, it's awesome. And I mean, I think every one of your fish, you know, everyone but your last fish on the board is my PB on the catch board.
Ah,
Everyone after that would be a new PB for me. So, you can see
nice.
Josh was rolling with a 24.5 inch giant. And I mean, I still can't fathom. Well, that ain't even it. I clicked on the wrong one. Where is that monster at? 21, 21, 6. I mean, just look at just all these giants. Who did I click on? Me? Let me go back and where is that? Oh, there. Look at
Oh
that
yeah,
fish.
there
Did you
she
get a weight
is.
on that bad boy?
9.3 pounds.
Man,
Yeah,
I
PB.
couldn't even imagine. I could not even
Yeah, she was
imagine.
a
But I
monster.
mean, that's the magic thing about being down south sometimes. I mean, it's just
Oh yeah,
it's still, any one cast. And that's what I tell everybody. That's, whether you're fishing, up north or down south, any one cast could be the biggest fish
yep,
of your life. And you got to experience this one, that's for sure. Um,
yep, yep.
you just
Never forget it.
yeah, oh, yeah, good grief. And I mean, Liz was saying that her 24-inch came in at 7.1 pounds and was spawned out. So, but I mean,
Yeah.
hey, that's still an incredible feat. I keep telling Liz, one of these days I'm gonna travel down there and get on the water with you. I've told you I'm gonna come down and see you one of these days
Oh
and
yeah.
get out and
Looking forward to
around
it.
and find some of these fish. So what'd you do most of your damage on this month?
What do you mean, bait wise?
Yeah, because I know Debo's going to be listening to this one because he's really going to get a kick out of what you're going to tell me because I already know what's coming.
So I actually brought one here. This little guy right here, the Berkeley Swamp Lord. That has been
That
the
has
go-to
been.
bait.
I have heard so many. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah,
Where's
that's been a lot of it's been on a lot of talk for sure. It's a hard bait to find now. I'm glad I stocked up on them early. So
really? Wow. Okay. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Show everybody that frog. That's the one, huh? So is that a popping
yes,
or is it
that's a
okay?
popper.
Okay. But I
Yep,
mean, I've heard that particular one. I mean, it seems like every Elite Series, every Major League
yep,
Fishing, if somebody's throwing a frog, that's the frog
that's
they're
it.
throwing. So I'm gonna have to get one and
Oh
see
yeah.
if I can't put some smackdown on them this year. That's for sure. But the
Oh
good
yeah.
old Swamp Lord. So I'm going to
That's
show
her.
everybody that the trophy that you're going to be getting, and then we also have our second and third place winners that will also get theirs. And but I really want to thank Duke and the guys up at Catch for making these trophies. I went back and forth for a couple months trying to come up with some kind of cool design. But I wanted people to have something more than just Team Gramps or the championship to fish for, because there's a lot of people that can't
Yeah.
go. I mean, there may be something else going on that weekend or they can't travel. But I wanted them to be able to participate, be able to make that donation to Blazer 88, who so
Yeah.
kindly donated that Old Town 120 to us this year. I'm donating the motor, the XI3. We got a battery from Dakota Lithium we're going to put on there, and that's going to be a true kayak for a veteran. Realistically, if they can get out of a wheelchair and into that kayak and cast, then I'm going to be able to put them on the water in a craft that I know that's safe. And, we'll go through and do all the safety things for it. And then we're working with Nick at FTX Trailers to build a dual launch trailer so that, we can put a veteran homeland hero or somebody who just is brand new to kayak fishing and wants to come out with us and kind of get a sample of what we've all kind of, learned to enjoy the last several years. But I'm
That's
not going to
awesome.
keep you too long. I told you I wouldn't keep you very long tonight. But with that being said, you got a decision to make. Why don't you let everybody know whose team you're going to be fishing for this fall at the KBF Knucklehead Bass Fishing Series Championship, known as the Hero Cup?
So I would say that it was a hard choice, but it was an easy choice in the end because I'd like to be on the winning team.
There we
So
go.
we got to go with Gramps. Got to go
There
Team
we
Gramps
go,
on this one.
baby. So there we have it. We have
Oh
our
yeah.
second slot filled. Uh-oh. So, yeah, Liz is like, I'll go ahead and put this up here for Liz. So Liz was in the Freedom Squad chat this morning on Facebook. Is Josh on our team? Is Josh on our team? I was like, hey, he's gotta make an announcement tonight to let everybody know. But then that's now the second spot filled for Team Gramps. So far it's Liz and Josh, and that gives us 2 more months, 2 more slots to fill for for going down and putting the whooping back on Gene and Chad and the rest of them and getting our revenge on Mr. Darren Wendell. But I mean, if I was going to lose to somebody, I love Darren. He's a great dude, and he's a good person. He works for a great company with his child charity, and I love doing lives with Darren as well. So if I'm going to get beat by somebody, it was Darren. But those days are over. We're now going to go back and work on assembling a team so that we can go back and have a good showing, and mostly again like we did last year, get everybody together, and just have a good time hanging out in the fellowship. We had Caro, we had Sly Fox. I mean, everybody who's the fishing fam, whether they're competing in it or not, just being there was an adventure into itself. And I tell everybody that'll listen, even if you're not going to compete in the championship, there's going to be a big derb for everybody else too. It's probably going to pay out more in cash and prizes, come to think of it. But again, it's about the reunion of the fishing fam and the people that we all, hang out with in every live stream every weekend, be it here or Bass Geek or Debo or the aggressively average anglers, all of us out there who are kind of in this big fishing fam that love to do what we love to do. But with that being said, I got another guest back here that just got into kayak fishing. So I'm going to let you go and bring in good old Debo, and we're going to talk about his experiences in the kayak. But again, congratulations for winning.
Thank you.
I will bring this with me when we come down south, unless you want me to mail it to you beforehand to show it off. But if not, then I got a bunch of stuff I'll be bringing down too. But again, congratulations. Welcome to Team Gramps. And man, thank you so much for everything that you do to promote our great sport, even down in your area. And like you said, dragging a buddy out because a buddy drug you out. Keep sharing the love and keep spreading the word, and each one reach one, as Chad always says.
That's right. Well,
I appreciate it. Well, we will see you soon.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Yeah, hey, looky here. So that was Josh Welsh. Worked his way on to fishing for Team Gramps down at the
Whoops,
Knucklehead Bass
that's
Fishing
muted.
Series, joining
My bad.
Liza for that second spot. So yeah, we're off to a good start already.
Yeah, that's a tough deal to follow up. I don't know why the hell you brought me on after talking to, oh, this guy caught giant fish, and well, you can do turn it. And then you bring my sorry ass in here, and it's like, oh, now that we're done with that talk.
I keep seeing you posting these giant fish that you call dinks on, Instagram. And I was like, that's over 6 inches. That's not even, I mean, that's almost, that was almost a keeper. So I was like, we gotta go talk to old Debo about, how he's labeling these fish, how he's losing his name as Dink Master because he keeps catching these tanks.
Yeah, and it hasn't been any tanks lately.
Big kind of, I mean, I honestly, I had a period where I wasn't catching anything big, but it seems like as soon as I started moving offshore, I ended up catching a lake PB that was probably 6 pounds. And I had my damn Googie scale. It was under my seat of my new kayak, right where I put it, where I wouldn't forget it or wouldn't not realize where it was. And having transitioned from one kayak setup to another, I was like, I can't find my scale. I just have to put it on the board. It was my PB for that lake for sure. But that thing was probably pushing 6 pounds. But I can't complain. At least I finally caught a bigger bass after watching my brother catch like 25 of them this season so far. It's been kind of crazy. So you got a new kayak?
I got a yak, man. I'm part of the old kayak Carl squad now.
So kind of enlighten the fishing fam if you're like me, kind of behind on what's going on. Tell us what you got. Tell us what you've been thinking about it so far. Was it? Let me start this. Was it as scary or different from coming from your boat to this as you thought it would be, or has it been a pretty smooth transition?
Sorta. Yeah. So I was actually one of my buddies, Chris, subscribed fishing friend, always watching, always hanging out. Also, an Iowa guy told me about it because the yak was like 2 hours from my place. Used. It was a dude that did tournaments around here. So luckily, there was already a bunch of stuff on it. It already came with the sidekick wheels. It came with the Guardian Angel lights.
I tell everybody every year, watch for your Tournament Pro guys because they get a new boat every year. And that's the best deal you'll find on the internet.
Yeah, it came with that. I don't remember, a few other things. So it was fully loaded for a far more than reasonable price. So it's the Native Slayer Max, the 12.5, the Propel pedal drive. Yep. It's been very, very stable, easy to fish out of sitting down. I've stood and fished a few times, but I'm definitely not comfortable with it at all.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing for me is getting used to fishing sitting down, because I always just stood in the John boat.
Yeah.
And then, if I needed to, I would just drop the anchor and, stand and fish, but never ever sat down and fished out of the John boat. So that was the hardest thing, but really it's been not bad. I mean, sitting down and fishing, the seat's comfortable. I got one of the Native cushion deals for it. So it's extremely comfortable to sit and fish all day. My old John boat seats are uncomfortable as hell. So that's the other thing. They're like flat. So yeah, it's like luxury sitting in that thing.
I tell everybody when they, that's quite a setup you got there. And I'm like, it's my floating lazy boy. I mean, there's no getting around it. I'm more comfortable in my kayak than I am my boat for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you find, well, I mean, so you've been in a boat, your dad, you guys have spent time in. So do you find yourself,
we've had a boat ever since forever.
Yeah. So you find yourself now being, because I know that you primarily focus on, schooling bank anglers and things like this too. Is it kind of wild being, out the other end pointing, I can go ledge fishing now. I can do other, you can talk about other topics and things that you generally can't always do from the bank. Because I mean, we know it's especially when we're bank fishing, there's only so many techniques and things that you can talk about. But now being able to, being exposed to different angles and things like that too, maybe, when you start, continuing the education aspects from the kayak side, I can see a guy like you with with the base of people that have become really interested in fishing, maybe following you in this journey into a kayak, because it's a whole lot cheaper to get in a kayak than it is a boat, even if you're just getting a little throw and go from Walmart and, getting on the water in some fashion or another.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Liza, I'll call out that awkward pause too. I didn't know if Gramps was debating on kicking me there for a second when he was just looking at the screen, both of us not talking. I didn't know what was going to happen. Luckily, he didn't. Thanks for not kicking me, Gramps.
My Comcast has been spotty lately. I'm lucky I'm being able to live tonight.
I'm just giving you crap. Yeah, so I don't know. I still think for the bank fishing, still going to do, a lot of that. The yak's new and fun. And yes, you can definitely hit more places. I mean, I already had the John boat, so I could still do it.
Yep.
The big thing for me is because parking at my place is awful. Like every neighbor that I've got has multiple cars. So it's like a car lot out on the street trying to back the little John boat in. Pain in the arse.
Yeah.
With this, 8 million times easier to throw it in the back of my truck, drive wherever I want. I don't have to worry about the speed limit. I do have to worry about the speed limit. I had one of those crappy little trailers with like the little tires. So it's like if you go over 60, it's sketch.
Yes.
So that's what I mean. I had to worry about that. I couldn't take interstate. I had already blown one before. Well, almost blown one. It was like super old and like crusty. So I got new wheels on it. But anyway, I can throw it in. I can go as fast in my truck as I want. I got the bed extender from Harbor Freight for like $50.
Yep.
So that's the biggest difference for me is the load, take, carry. I can launch it anywhere. Some of these small lakes that don't even have boat ramps or crappy boat ramps, you can launch it there without any worry. So that to me is the biggest difference. Learning, I mean, I'm not going to be able to teach people anything. There's already 8,000 other channels that do better teaching kayak stuff than me. So I don't think I'm going to reach anybody necessarily that way, but I think it just gives me kind of another weapon to fish out of. And like you said, I hope it does maybe inspire some people to look at a kayak if they only bank fish and are like, I'm scared of it. At least they can use me as an example of some dummy in Iowa finally getting in one and fishing out of it. So yeah, bank fishing.
And you've heard that from many of us for the last few years. Just because we wanted, because we know. I mean, it was one of those things where a lot of us that went that way. It's like Debo's got a big reach, and anybody that you inspire 2 or 3 people, then that word spreads. I mean, we all talk about each one reach one. It's kind of the way it goes. It's like, oh, Debo got a kayak. I can try that too. And if anybody sees me in a kayak, then they definitely know that it can be done.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, my balance is horrible. So people are like, dude, is it going to tip? Is it going to, when you're sitting down, as long as you're not like reaching way over, if you're not getting your center line off the side, like I can sit in this and do this as much as I want. And it's fine.
Just keep your head inside the handles. You're good. Like my brother, he'll stand and flip and fish, and he's like Christine Fisher. He'll walk to the front and walk all around. And I'm like, no. I mean, you watch Austin Hoover when he's out with Chad. He's climbing up on top of his seat. He'll be standing on his black pack, adjusting cameras. I'm like, no. But I mean, it's just once you get a comfort level and it becomes a little bit second nature, then it's just becomes the way you do things. I actually get my boat and it's like I don't know how to cast anymore. I'm so used to roll casting from the side or even, pitching across my body another way. I've just done it for so long the same ways. It's truly second nature. And I get in a boat and it's like I can't skip anything in a boat anymore because I'm standing and it's all in the wrong places and it's the way it goes, but I keep saying I'm going to sell my boat and still haven't yet. It's just.
I need to. Hey, if anybody wants to buy a John boat, I'll cut you a good deal if you're here in Iowa.
Go. So I did want to ask you another question, kind of off topic or whatever, but I know you've been playing with some of the same rods I have over the last couple of years. So you've been playing with
which ones?
You've been playing with the lunker sticks a little bit.
For Monster Bass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I have literally, over the last few years, I've collected a great collection of a mix of everything from Shimano, Loomis, Daiwa, Dobbins, of course, all the various price points and all the lines. And I just realized when I was looking around the other day, I literally only have 2 brands of rods in the whole house. And that really shocks me because I just got in a bigger, longer crankbait rod. Did I go spend the money on a Loomis? No. I ordered a lunker stick.
Wow.
I don't know what Gran is in here alluding to. I don't know if she's making Hawk Tua jokes or
Oh,
she's.
Jesus. If I hear one more thing out of that chick,
I know. It's like you can't let it go. And anybody who knows my wife knows that ain't. She'll walk in breaking pencils to set an
Oh yeah,
example.
and I meant that. I meant the Hawk Tua girl, not your wife. When I was
Yeah.
don't tell her. Don't tell her where I live.
No, but it's funny because I realized that I keep amassing a bigger collection of the lunker sticks because I can't find what I consider a better rod for that price point, because I keep saying I'm going to do a series like budget and bougie. And at first I was going to start out with like the Dobbins Fury or the SLX, maybe even the Corrados. But the more I kept playing with the lunker sticks, the more I keep growing that collection, because it's like I want to protect my expensive babies from like the river and stuff like that.
That's a dangerous game to get into when you say, I won't use these in this spot.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's like everything that I said I've liked about rods, those lunker sticks that the guys from Doomsday Tackle put together for Monster Bass, my collection keeps growing. And yes, Liz is asking about which one I got. Yep, it's the big heavy duty moderate fast action cranking rod, because one of the things I'm working on this summer, I keep saying I'm going to learn new techniques myself. I'm going to use my electronics. I'm going to get offshore more. I'm going to change things up. I'm going to go back old school. I'm going to start throwing hair jigs. I'm going to start throwing flutter spoons. But I've been throwing deep cranks a lot, and even Ned rigs, which I never throw. I think my two biggest fish this whole year have been dragging bigger Ned rigs off of ledges. So like the big X Zone, Ned
that,
Zone,
the
whatever they
Nico
call it,
Ned.
like the 4-inch whatever,
I love
or
that
like
one. Yeah,
the
Nico
big
Ned Zone.
TRD style kind of
Love that
things.
one.
Dragging those off of ledges, dude. If they're not actively chasing that crankbait, they want something slow. They've been smoking that Ned rig like that. And that's, normally I would just drag a shaky head, but I'm like, I'm gonna try new things. But I mean, it's been pretty cool. So sure, I got a whole new line of all the new GLX Loomis rods, because I'm blessed to have a great partnership with
Fancy.
it. I mean, it is, but I'm getting into retirement, years. And so I'm trying to make sure when I retire, my arsenal, whether I have sponsors, partners, still doing YouTube, I want my last many years to have some of the good stuff too. But
Sure.
that being said, I want to get back into wading and bank fishing and going chasing smallies in the creeks, which is why I'm working out and doing everything I'm doing. But I want to have stuff that, I'm not going to break a very expensive rod in crazy places. But I keep finding the more I use those lunker sticks, the more I keep wanting more of them. What's your kind of, experience been with them over the last year? What have you thought about them?
Pretty solid. Yeah, I haven't had any complaints. The only thing I hate is the micro guides. I just do not like micro guides. So any nylon line is fine. I think I've got a medium heavy, and then a heavy are the three that I have. And like the medium heavy is a topwater walking bait, jerk bait, smaller single hook stuff was great. Just don't like those little tiny guides for the braid stuff.
Yeah,
I
and
used it for
since I
frogmen.
use fluoro for pretty much everything, they still work pretty okay for me. So
yeah, that's my only complaint. Otherwise, they're comfortable. I like the real nut is not the the hard serraty.
You mentioned that the other night, and it was like you guys were talking about the Dobbins, and it's not up until you get into like the DX line of those Dobbins rods that they have that real nut that's like that, where it's nice and smooth. And I'm like, when I first saw that, that's like, man, this is just like this DX that I have over here from Dobbins, which I no longer have.
It can't be expensive. That real nut can't be expensive.
Yeah, but I don't understand why anybody would think anybody who lays their finger in front of their reel would want that.
Right.
I want bass thumb, not tore up, under fingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they're not awful, because at least the serrations go up and down. So as long as you lay your finger, but if you're moving and stuff a lot, it's just, it's not great. Yeah.
So you guys were talking about iCast coming up. I know you love talking about reels too. Any have you heard of anything new from anybody that you think might be piquing your interest?
No, I would assume there's probably going to be a new Daiwa Tatula SVTW. So the $99 SV spool Tatula. Guessing there's going to be a new one of those. There's been a whole bunch of sales, like Omnia had them half off.
Yeah.
Tackle Warehouse had them on sale. A
That's
bunch of
kind of
people
our
had
hint that we
sales.
know something's coming. Like, oh, Shimano
Right.
Poison Adrenas are on sale for
Right.
less than an X Pride B. What's coming?
Yeah. I was interested in Quantum because Quantum back in the day, Mr. Dance, Bill Dance used to use them.
Oh
I
yeah,
think Hank was, KBD.
ABD. Yep.
They dropped like a new like avatar thing or something on Instagram, but somebody was telling me that they're going to be kind of like the opposite of Lose and be the salt side of, because Lose, whoever it is that Lose, GSM or whatever,
Rather
owns Lose,
Outdoors has
or
Lose.
rather,
Yeah.
not
Yep.
GSM, owns Lose and Quantum both. So apparently Quantum's going to be the more like the salt side. Lose is going to be more freshwaterish, is what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but I was hoping Quantum was going to try to make some sort of push, just for the old nostalgia sake, like, oh, cool, a new Quantum, but
yeah, bring them back, kind of
otherwise,
like have still having Pen out there, and
yeah.
It's funny how all of the companies are buying all of the they're power building now, like you said, with GSM getting Yamamoto, Big Bite Baits, Bill
I didn't realize
Lewis,
how big they were, like how much
Dobbin.
hunting they had, how much
I mean,
fish, like
anybody been a deer or
gigantic.
turkey hunter, everything that they carry is stuff that we would have in the woods. When I saw that, it's like, holy cow. I mean, they are really huge. And I guess when Rick bought Grande Bass, one of those companies was trying to buy Grande Bass at the same time.
Wow.
So it'd be interesting to see, it's funny what the competition is, but I get it. I mean, it's just like Gary Yamamoto spent his lifetime fishing, developing, great baits. At some point, you got to retire. I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't want to be Gary Yamamoto or Gary Dobbins and going to work every day in my 60s. I want to be on the boat with Josh Jones catching
It's a lot of
tank.
stress. Yeah, it's a lot of stress,
Yeah.
man.
So, I mean, I'm glad that those guys were able to build up like the empire that they did and sell out so that they could retire, because what was their retirement plan other than that too?
Right. Right. Yeah, you can't do it forever. I mean, if you can, and that's something I was talking about on mine. I don't know if they hire on like somebody like Gary with that much knowledge, if he's like a product manager or like
I think he
program
said he
manager or
was going to
something.
stay in like in a consulting side of it for a
That's what I
couple of
wondered.
years,
Okay.
maybe. But I mean, I know he wants to just go fish. Who wouldn't? I mean,
Right.
you're a lifelong
Sure.
angler. I mean, it's like, oh, KVD retired. KVD retired from Bass Pro Fishing, but KVD did not
Right.
retire from fishing.
Right. Yeah. He'll still
That
be
dude,
doing the company work and fishing. And yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, he'd be able to go around and produce cool TV shows and stuff like that too. So you've had your first kayak.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your next kayak is going to be like? And I know that's a way early question.
Well, okay. So the deal was, so like I said, I got it used. I got all that stuff on it for $1,700, and I think right now those are like 3,000.
Yes.
So he's like, I need to get rid of it now. I want one of the new Old Town 13, some 13 footer or something with a motor and all that is what he was going to do. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I kind of jumped on it. Was like, it was a boom. I'm doing it. Screw it. I'm jumping in. I'm not going to find a better deal than this. And before that, I was kicking around the idea of, because I talked to Burley, of getting the Native Titan X. That's the one I looked at and I'm like, I think that's it. I think I'm going to start saving for it and, figure out a way. After like checking his out and, kind of messing with him, I'm like, I don't know that I need to go with like a super huge, like this pretty much does everything I want. About the only thing I can think of, like, which is I clearly need to get in a little bit better shape. But in the Jumbo, I could just, electric knee, turn my trolling motor on and go all around. So that's really the only thing it's missing, is maybe like a Bixby. I don't want a huge motor, but like the Bixby kind of intrigues me. But that's it. Otherwise,
move you around.
Yeah, I'm not left wanting anything in mine. I don't sit in mine, and I could not imagine doing an only paddle. I think that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, you do get your workout in if you want to.
Yeah, the pedal drive is amazing. I freaking love it. It's
Oh yeah.
a blast.
For me, if I tell somebody if you're going to get into something, you're probably best trying to start with the pedal drive because you can not use it and paddle if you want to. But I mean, just being able to cover water, and your legs are the two most powerful motors in your body. Once you get into kayak shape, I mean, I used to tell people I was fisher-sizing because you literally are.
Yeah, it's
But
great. I mean, I've taken some other steps plus that, and I've already dropped, I think, 10 pounds. So
yeah, it did. Yeah, it didn't take long.
slow but sure, you know.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I love
Excellent,
it.
excellent.
It's fun. How
That
about you? Now that you've played with like from start to finish, let's say, like first getting in a kayak till now, what have you experienced as like, I don't know that I could live without this? And I'll kind of give my second piece. One would be the motor. Two
mhm.
for 100% would be once I got that anchor wizard on, an absolute lifesaver. I don't know how
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
can fish without an anchor wizard.
Yep. I mean, and realistically, and the funny thing is, we always talk about Anchor Wizard because that's the name that's synonymous with, kayak anchors. They can be hard to find. And there's a guy, Yak Gadget, John Thomas, that runs Yak Gadget. He actually has his version of an Anchor Wizard that's like
Mm,
$60 and it's 3D printed. And I actually have one of those and the Anchor Wizard
mm.
solely because my buddy Matt was using my Anchor Wizard while he was getting his kayak replaced, and I needed something to kind of stabilize
Yeah,
my
mine was hard
kayak.
to find. It was hard to
Oh
find
yeah,
one.
yeah, and they're and it's not. So I tell people if you can't find the Anchor Wizard, go to Yak Gadget and get theirs for $60, and it'll do everything that you want it to do and work like a champ. But then again, you'll find, later on, you start talking motors and this and that. There's so many different options. I've had the XI3, so I can do the spot lock or hand, remote control. But when I put the Newport on there with the foot control and that basically 3 horsepower motor, I never thought I'd be in a kayak that could get up on plane, but it does. I was doing almost 7 miles an hour up river last week. I mean, and that is
Damn.
nuts with all my weight and my load. That is insane. But I was like, I wonder what 100% can do. Womp. And there we went. But it was pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool too. But yeah, I find that over the last, I don't know, 12 years I've been kayaking since we started with the Walmart sit-ins to the versions. I had this one called the Future Beach. It was like a 14-foot, big guy kind of kayak. But I mean, they've come such a long way to where we now actually have kayaks that are built for
Right.
for what we want to do. I mean, you're not going fishing in a kayak. I tell people these days I'm not kayaking, I'm bass
I'm
fishing.
fishing.
you
Yeah, I'm
know
fishing out of a kayak. Yeah.
I'm fishing out of a kayak. I mean, it's insane. But I mean, having played with so many different brands, I mean, everybody knows I was in Old Town for the longest time and left the Old Town team just because I wanted to play with different stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm glad I did. I mean, this bona fide Power 129 that I'm in now, I can do anything with it. And I'm curious to see what we're going to be like in 3 years. It's crazy with the stuff that we can do with them, from the foot controls to the
Right.
stability. I mean, and even like the Titan X. Jeremy and I looked at those first before they came out with the Power, and we're actually glad we went the way we did because those Titan X, it's like a floating boat dock, but they're pretty heavy too. I
Yeah.
don't I don't think
That's
that would be one that I would have to have a trailer.
that's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, because getting into that, comparing that to the Slayer, I
Yep.
mean, they're pretty close, but I think his was, I don't remember, slightly heavier. And I'm thinking like that's pretty much it. I wouldn't want to go with something super heavy to have to
Yeah.
load in the back of a truck. So it's like I'm kind of glad I didn't get that because I don't want a trailer. Throwing
Yeah.
it in my truck is just, it's so awesome. You can go
Yeah,
anywhere. It
because
doesn't
I'm like
matter.
you.
You
I
can, you
keep
can go
myself with the same ability. If I want to dump into a creek, I can take all the motors off, take the graphs off, literally throw my Harbor Freight bed extender on the back, and just go dump in a creek
That's
and
awesome. Yeah.
float down. But if when I want to motorize, I can put it right back on with the batteries, and I'm good to go. But I mean, I love the fact that we have build-a-boats so that we can literally build them any way we want these days. And
That's the thing for me that I was probably the most surprised. Like I hadn't really watched many videos of, yak like installs and like all this crap. Cause it's like, I don't have one, I didn't really care.
Yeah, who cares?
Obviously, yeah, I watch people fish out of a kayak and stuff, but I never really put all that together. And then like being able to like, I guess taking a step back, comparing that to my Jumbo, just an aluminum frame, is all you have. It's like you can't really do much unless you're drilling into it. And it's like, I don't want to do all that. With this, like that's all set up. I couldn't believe how much you could, like Anchor Wizard. I was looking through Anchor Wizard stuff and I stumbled on some guy that had like, I don't know, 200 subscribers or something, and showed, oh, you don't have to drill any holes. You just, on the front hatch part that opens up, it's got tracks. You can just I got on Amazon and got little eyelet hatch things, like little round hole things, and just run my rope through that right up to the front of it. And even my handle on the front, the rubber handle, you scoot it to the side and it's got a track under there. So my thing goes all the way up. Didn't have to drill. Like,
works like a champ.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, that you can do. I didn't realize all that, how modular, I guess, kind of it would be the word, how modular they are, that you can mess with it. So yeah, it was fun.
And then every year, I mean, it's like I've really noticed this with like, now that Big Adventures basically builds kayaks for native, for bonafide, and for unlimited or a new canoe, they're actually sharing those technologies and rigging kind of things across all three brands. So you're still giving all the consumers anything they could ever want. If somebody's got a better pedal drive, then, oh, hey, we'll use that over here too. And it works out for everybody. But people don't realize a good pedal drive in a kayak, boy, you can go a long way in a full day. Just, buzzing over to one little spot, catching some fish, moving around, and kind of keep doing it too. But it's one of those things where the more you do it, the easier it gets. And, the more second nature is. And I'm sitting here looking through the fam, looking at the people who didn't have a kayak 3 years ago, Cairo, Sly Fox, Liza. I mean, there's so many folks who just over the last couple of years have just, come back to fishing and then slowly found their way off the banks, just like you did, and, getting out. So I keep saying it. And one of these days we're going to do it. We need to have like a big get together. We can't call it the Big Ten anymore because now we run from coast to coast.
I know, dude. Weird.
Used to be we had like our own little thing.
We can do the Midwest. I don't know, Midwest shootout type thing,
but we'll have to find someplace either like in the spring or the fall, somewhere.
Come down, let me know.
Where we can just do like an overnight camping thing and just a big hoot nanny, and just get like the whole fishing fam and all the fishing friends. I keep telling Hank, just get a bunch of us together. I think that would be just
down.
That would be the most awesome, and just get out together and fish together. That would be so fun.
Yeah, do that and let everybody know where we're at, and everybody can come hang out afterwards. We grill out, and that'd be a blast.
We'll have to figure something out. Well, brother, I am not going to keep you long because I am still exhausted from my road trip this weekend.
All right, man.
I wanted to do a live, but I've been wanting to touch base with you for forever, and I've been kind of skimping on doing lives, trying to get my own health back in check. But I kind of wanted to check in with you, see how you were digging the yak so far, and I was
kind of loving it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. So, have you caught a fish on the Swamp Lord yet?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Dude, it's my favorite frog right now, for sure, hands down.
So, you too, huh? Okay.
Yep. Chris, I have to say, my buddy Chris Russ, that y'all see him some of my videos, called it before the year even started. He's like, dude, I think this is going to be the best frog of the year for sure. And I was like, really?
And see, normally when I see the same people that we know represent the same brand saying the same thing, I get kind of like, okay, throwing the party line.
No, they've just kind of combined. They've combined everything. Like you look at, like, for me, the level of measure is a Spro. Actually, funny, I say that right here. Spro's the level of measure. Is it better or worse for whatever reasons? Price. The Swamp Lord is like, it's super soft. Even a Spro, you feel a Spro compared to that now, and it feels kind of stiff. Like it's super soft. Spro doesn't put the shrink tubing in here. The Swamp Lord has that, so it doesn't take on water. Hooks are super sharp. It's the fusion hooks. Yeah, and I don't work with them. I have zero ties to. It's just such a good frog, and it's a little heavier too. That's the thing, is it's a 2/3 ounce. So like bank fishing with it, man, I can rocket that thing. So
okay, got you. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get some and give it a try too. Because I mean, it's just like there's no denying it, because it seems like every tournament that I watch or read about or whatever, or somebody just out fishing, they're smoking it on them, and it's like I think I've got that, and maybe like I think it's the Nessie swim baits sitting in a cart at Omnia that I need to pull the trigger on, because I mean, hey, everybody, and I've done it too. I've given Berkeley crap for knocking off so many people, but if you knock it off and you make a better version or a high quality, affordable, then
yeah, that's where it's tough getting into the whole, like, so if that's the case, nobody else can make a curly tail worm ever again.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know.
like, where is too close to being exact versus like, okay, they changed a few things and made it better. Like, I actually like this one better.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's tough.
and honestly, and if it's better and it's in the price range that a lot more people like to hear,
Yeah, like that's capitalism. That's marketing.
Yeah, I mean that 100%. And we want to keep the fishing industry going. Like Josh says, the Berkeley is 100% ready to fish. No trimming, no boiling, no hook mods.
Oh, I still trim them. Yeah, I still trim the legs, but otherwise, yeah, that's the biggest thing too. Like the number of companies I've tried frogs. I'll pick on Terminator. Sorry, Terminator. I don't hate them or anything, but I bought like 5 of their frogs because they walked so well. I had one, and all of them had not sharp hooks. Like I could just skate them, and it's like, how? I mean, that's the biggest thing on a frog. Like, how could they have? So just like whoever that was, Josh or whoever was saying, yeah, it's one of those you just take it. You don't have to worry about it. It's not like, am I gonna?
So it's one of those that literally I could tie on and probably catch a fish on it.
Oh, for sure, dude. You're sandbagging on us. We know you go out and catch toes on the frog. Don't try to play us.
The weird thing is as much. So we all know that I gave Sly Fox all my frogs last year, right? As in a big giveaway. So I've been collecting some here and there, like a John Stucup put out some frog with some company, I don't remember, and I bought some to support him. So I was like, okay, I'll have these. And then of course I love the Spro Flappy Frog because that's what I actually caught my first frogfish on.
They still never paid me royalties from that.
Yeah, I know.
I told them to fix. I told them to fix as soon as it came out, and I think they owe me at least $50,000.
I've still got the freak. I think it was that you sent me, I believe.
Yep, I did. Yep.
Yep. But of course, everybody.
And the American frog. I sent you the American Spro Frog too.
Yes, well, yeah. Team America will always sit up there on the catch board.
America frog,
he's up there with the Flappy Frog that caught the first one. But yeah, I have to go get some Swamp Lords and see if I can't catch one. The weird thing is they keep spraying all the grass around here, and we've got like lakes with no grass, and that is terrible. And I honestly haven't seen much.
You can throw in the walking bait or popper instead.
Yeah,
catching them.
I'm gonna have to. But I've just been fishing deep because it's summer, but I haven't even seen any lily pads lately. So I've got a lake that normally is known for them. So I'm gonna have to get a Swamp Lord and go up to Lake Lemon and see if I can't find some. Now that I've got a motor that can really motor, me and my brother will have to go do some traveling because him and Matt love throwing them frogs. But I had to bring that back up since we were talking about it earlier. But yeah, I wanted to get your take on it too. The frog gurus over there. I go to you for frog talk and Dizzle for jig talk, so you know how that goes.
Oh man, hopefully, if we get him, I think it's solid. I think he's moving out to Nebraska, so we'll definitely have to get him back in the Big Ten shootout. But I was going to try to get him in a kayak, man, and it's now that he's moving out there, I don't know that that's going to happen. But
yeah, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Life takes us where it takes.
Yeah. I said, hell, man, if you're happy, like, I ain't going to be mad. Go do your thing. I'm like, if you want to be a Huskers fan, I just won't talk to you. That's fine.
And, come basketball season, you and I'll be talking smack regardless. I tell you what, my team has had some success in the transfer portal. I don't know if that's going to mean anything come fall. But, boy, we have picked up some players this season.
Yeah, Iowa struggled a little bit. We got one decent one, but, yeah, it was Iowa's not a transfer portal team. Like, they don't like to do that. They like to develop, and so we'll see.
Yeah, but I do have to say we love having your most famous Iowa resident.
Oh, dude,
here in Indianapolis with the Indiana Fever.
She's a freaking icon. It was
really
so cool.
Enjoyed watching every game that they put on TV, and I kind of want to get up to the big house and catch a game with her. especially when give her a year getting her legs under her.
Oh yeah.
That poor kid went into the league straight out of school with
Oh,
no
dude.
rest,
Thrown to the wolves, man.
and
Yeah,
beat
and
the
it's
living smack out of her. And
yeah, she's rolling with it.
She's
She's gonna
surviving.
have to. Gonna have to get tough, and she will. She's got that mindset that'll just be like,
Yep.
screw it, I gotta get better.
She is something special. I've enjoyed every second of having her here in Indiana, and I was so happy that she came here.
Yeah, it
Because
was cool.
we're like you guys. We're a basketball state, so the
Mhm.
fact that she was able to come find a WNBA team like ours and come
We're
here,
a
just
football
huge.
state too. I think they just rated us the 8th or 7th hardest stadium to play in all the nation.
Yeah. Oh, I get
so.
that. I mean, if I was going to say
We don't have any
anything,
pro teams though. We got nothing.
I know wrestling was like your dominating
Oh yeah.
forever.
Yep.
It's just the way it goes too. But yeah, the fact that we at least have good sports teams to watch and to root for and be faithful to, it's awesome. All right, my dude, I'm going to let you out of here tonight. I appreciate you for hopping on and come talking to us.
Absolutely.
I'm going to let you run. I'm going to do a giveaway or two.
All right.
And then I'm going to take my booty to bed because, I'm just tired.
I get it. I'm getting heavy-eyed over here too. So love you guys. Thanks for having me on, Gramps. Take care.
All right. You take care. Good seeing you again.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thanks for Debo for popping in tonight. It's always cool to catch up with him. Man, I haven't talked to anybody in a while. And like I said, been trying to recover. And of course, I wear myself back out by going. But let's do a couple giveaways. Said we was going to do that. Real quick, I need to go and tournaments, Freedom. I need to do a shout out for the Freedom Squad team and see who. Let's pull this up. Okay. Oh, smack. Let me share screen. Share. Present. I don't even know if Jeremy's in here tonight. I know he went fishing earlier today. He's probably in bed asleep. Share screen, fishing chaos. So the winner, it looks like, of Freedom Squad Challenge for June was Josh Powell. I can't remember. I think he's a hammer out of. Where's he from? Where's he? Josh, where are you from, Josh? I'm pushing all the wrong buttons, doing all the wrong. You can tell I'm tired. Now I know Daniel Jaja is from Indiana, but where is Mr. Josh Powell from? Tournament profile, public profile, tournaments. All right, he's one of them Kakalaka boys. It's down in his neck of the woods this week. So as far as I know, Mr. Josh Powell has won a slot with, and he might actually know Mr. Alex on the Water, who is on Jeremy's Freedom Squad team. So as it stands right now, it's either Josh Powell. I don't know if he fished with somebody else where he had to choose back and forth. And if not, it would be Daniel from up in northern Indiana. But that was pretty cool. But that said, let's stop sharing that. Pull up. Looks like my son Hunter tried to call me. Pull up the wheel of Gramps via share screen. Wheel of Gramps. Now, what I did, because we only had, I think it was only 14 competitors in the Team Gramps for June, I added everybody's name in here 3 times just so it would, not be one big blob of like a few names. So I'm going to shuffle 3 times. Let me make sure this is showing over here. And this is for the Lose, Mock, Crush, spinning reel that I will pull out for this month's winner. And the winner of that reel for everybody who participated in the Team Team Gramps June Challenge is in this drawing for the reel. And then I will come up for something for July. So the winner of the reel is, I was going to laugh if it was, Mr. Daniel, who also participated in Team Gramps. So Daniel, you won the Lose reel, and I will get with you. I'll shoot you a message because I'm pretty sure I got you on Facebook, and we'll get you out this reel so you can add this to your arsenal and catch some more fish. And as always, we love partnering, Team Gramps partnering with Lose and Strike King. Tom and the crew over there are awesome. And Thanks everybody for participating in Team Gramps in June. And again, anybody just sign up in July. You're going to be supporting Blazer 88, and then you'll get entered for whatever the next drawing is going to be. I'll pull something out of the hat. But for everybody that come to hang out with us tonight, let's do a StreamYard giveaway. StreamYard. I haven't done this in so long. It's like I don't remember what I'm doing. StreamYard.com/giveaway. Why is that not bookmarked? Did I not type it right? Hopefully I don't end the stream being stupid. Okay, make sure. Yep, you guys are still here. Cool. Choose a live stream, live with Debo. And hashtag Team Gramps. Hashtag Team Gramps to get entered in the drawing. Let me put that in the chat. Hashtag Team Gramps. And I'll put together a bait package, which is cool. I've got so much. You guys can't see what's going on behind me, but on my floor behind me, and then I've got rods and reels, and just I've got to pare down. I started collecting so much, and I literally filled up a box for my oldest, because he lives by the river up in Indy now, and I think he went out today. I need to call him actually, and he was going to do some bank fishing, trying to find some smallies, and I told him to he picked up like a chatterbait and some wacky rig stuff, and I was like, don't get too much stuff. He went out and bought another Abu Garcia, Black Max, and I'm like, dude, I literally have some that I won from like Lose and Strike King, and no, Abu Garcia, I won those from Heroes on the Water. I didn't win an Abu Garcia from Lose and Strike King. Happy Canada Day, Frank. Hope you and all the rest of the Canadians are having a great day. We shall be celebrating ours here for too long. Make sure you do it all the same thing. Hashtag Team Gramps, no spaces. I don't think caps matters, but make sure it's a hashtag and Team Gramps. Want to make sure everybody can get into the drawing. And if you put a space in there, you won't be in the drawing. And I'll put together a bait package for tonight's winner. What I will do is I'll announce the winner, and I have you email me, and then I will go through some go through some things to verify your identity. There's our good friend, Mr. Army Outdoors. Ralph, how we doing out in California? Brother, I know it's hot. I know I shouldn't ask. I can't wait to get you back in the Midwest so you can start fishing again and actually catching fish, because I know it's got to be brutal out there dealing with all that nonsense. Understand, but love seeing your Facebook posts. Love keeping track of everything you got going out there. And, again, being a true leader in a day when leadership is needed in our United States military. I am glad to know that somebody like you is out there leading the way, doing it right and doing it well. Okay, let's share that screen. We got 21 entries. And then I will let you guys have your night back. Again, thank you for joining us on a Monday. A little impromptu, but I wanted to announce the winners. I do want to tell everybody, if you want to win one of these awesome trophies, get out to Fishing Chaos. Just type in Gramps in the tournament. Get signed up for this month's. It's not always about competing and making the actual team. If you want to try to make the team, I thank you for the support. But know that your entry fee is actually going to go towards a donation to Blazer 88. The ones who donated that veteran kayak to us, and it all helps too. And I'll get you have a chance to win first, second, third place trophy too. So I posted up on Instagram today congratulating the second and third place guys, and it was awesome seeing everybody compete and fish. And then those who were just Freedom Squad members supporting the cause, just to support the cause, we thank you guys too. The fishing fam is always out in full force. Still haven't seen Miss Caro. Miss Caro out there putting up any fish yet. Miss Caro, calling Miss Caro. Need some more Sly Fox out there too. I need support from the fam. Yeah, need support for get out there, put some fish up. going to Blazer 88. I know you can't go to Knucklehead. I get it. Still want to do a Freedom Squad get together. But you're supporting a great cause. Support Team Gramps or Team Freedom Squad. Kara says she hasn't caught anything in 2 months. Oh, wish I could let you just put up bluegill. Get you some rooster tails. All right, let's get this drawing pulled up. Share screen, and we'll give some baits away to a lucky winner. Unless it's Sly Fox, then he can have all my frogs again. Of course, if I say that, I'll speak it into truth. So, no, that's not going to happen. Giveaway tool, share, Team Gramps. We got 21 entered. Can we get it to 22? Can we get it to 22? If we can get it to 22, I'll pull the trigger. Oh, no, that didn't come out right. Let's get it to 22, and then I'll draw. Draw. I know, it's so wrong. I should just end the live right now. One more. Come on. Let's get it to 22. Catch 22. Mission 22. There it is. We got it. Let's roll. We're going to draw, and the winner of whatever random bait package I put together of cool stuff for somebody out there to fish with stuff and things is Mr. Army Outdoors. I guess I'm going to be making a shipment out to California. Ralph, congrats. I'm going to send you a whole bunch of baits that you're not going to use till you come back to the Midwest, and it's going to be funny. Oh, man. Hopefully, Ralph gets to go to the Bassmaster Classic in the spring so we can see him again and have another Freedom Squad reunion out there. That would be really cool. There we go. So, yeah, Ralph, I'm going to send you a bunch of baits that you're not going to be able to throw because you're in California. You're welcome. You bet. I got some good stuff you'll probably like too. Don't know if to catch them California fish, but I got a bunch of stuff. I just keep buying so much crap. It's not crap. It's good stuff. Beast Coast, so forth and so on. All name brands. Yeah. All right, gang. I'm tired. It's 9:30. It's my bedtime. I appreciate the love, the support that you guys have been giving the channel, keeping it busy while I haven't been making as many videos as I should be. I'm battling, and I know I want to say this. I'm going to say this to y'all now. I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I just realized I never shut off my overhead lights to give me my YouTubing look. Alexa, disengage. Okay. So now we're going to get a little romantic. We're not getting romantic. I want to thank you guys for all the support. You guys have been messaging, emailing, DMing, checking on me, making sure I'm good. The job situation is getting better soon. They got the first person hired. The second job offer to the second person should go out probably next week, which means over the next month, 6 weeks, I'll be transitioning a lot of the work that's just been wearing me out. And that'll ease that off of my plate. I went and signed back up for the gym today so I can get back in there and start going, because I've literally been so exhausted that I couldn't even try to work out, but I'm back at it. I literally saw the scale hit 169 pounds today, and then flash back up, not 100, 269 today, which I've been trying to get out of the 270s, 280s for the last 3 months. And it finally flashed down there, went back up to 270, but I saw it. And I was like, we're getting there. We're going back in the right direction. So I'm going to start getting my sleep, get my exercise. I'm going to get right. Be ready to go by Knucklehead. If you haven't heard, I'm going to try to go fish the Bassmaster, the Kayak Bassmaster event up on the Susquehanna River at the end of July. I'm going to travel up there with some of the Indiana hammers, and it's kind of going to be kind of a dream come true fishing a Bassmaster event. Not that I have any grand illusions of catching giant smallies and winning anything. Don't care. I'm just going for the experience, and honestly, I want the break away in the vacation, but I really want to go try to catch a big smallmouth. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to go and have fun, and I'm actually going to go and have fun. But I couldn't do what I do without all of you guys, the support, the love, all of you out there helping me help other people reach other people. Each one of us reaching other people, just one at a time. We're building something. and we're affecting lives and we're making change. The messages I still get at least once or twice a month where somebody happened across some conversation or some video and it made a difference to them. And you guys keep me going by being able to do that. But first, I got to take care of me and get rest, get sleep. And that means going to bed at 9:30, 5. But thank you again for all the love and support along the way. And yeah, we're going to be back. We're going to be strong. I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I'm getting healthy. And like I said, I see the light at the end of the tunnel with this whole job thing so that I can be able to start, relaxing and enjoying making videos again. It's not that I don't. It's just I'm mentally drained when I get home. But I knew I was that way tonight before I got on the live, but I was like, there's no way I'm not doing a live because I got to see you all. So again, as always, get outside when you can and make some memories. Hey, we got 4th of July weekend coming up. Reach out to somebody, grab somebody, put a pole in their hand, buy a fishing license for them. Take them out fishing. Let's get some more people doing this, whether you're fishing boat, bank, kayak, float tube, whatever. Just get out there and enjoy yourself. Be like Cairo. Get out there with them scouts and working with them. Sly Fox out there with his kids doing their thing. Be a friend, be a buddy, be an ear. Listen. If somebody needs to talk, let them talk. Love you guys. Thank you again for everything you do and helping me grow this fishing family. It's just, can't thank you guys enough. We'll see you next week.